So we're at Scarborough Harbour, only about 5 minutes to sunset on a summer's day, and I'm fingers crossed, I'm crossing really my fingers that this high cloud here is going to light up. And today I'm not going to use any filters apart from a polarizer. One of the reasons was I was actually out at Deception Bay doing a YouTube video, and I really didn't think the clouds were going to light up, and I've actually left all my filters at home, so all I've got on me is just a polarizer. So we'll put this on, we'll be able to control a bit of light with it, use live view. I'm just trying to get it even so the light is even, because right now when I'm looking like this side here is very dark. That's it. What I'm trying to do with the polarizer is just even out the sky. The foreground's going to be a bit dark, but I'll be able to adjust that in post. So we're at F11, my focus point is this boat that's in front of us here. So lock in the focus, put on a 2-second timer delay. Let's see what it's actually telling me. So I'm at 1/5 of a second. Now I'm going to look on my RGB highlights. It's actually showing me that I'm blowing out here a little bit. So 1/15. Now that looks really nice. The only highlights that are blown is right on the sun, and I really can't control that. It's just too bright. But what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to take a quick bracket and turn it into a HDR. So we're going to do a 3-shot HDR bracket. There, that's actually going to bring out the front. So our images, the underexposed image was 1/30th, the correctly exposed 1/15th, and the overexposed 1/8. And look at that. That looks really good. So I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes now. No use taking more shots. I'm not wanting the light to change. And if we look in the sky up there, we can actually see the clouds. It's tempting. They look like that they're actually going to light up, but who knows? Murphy's Law runs supreme with me at the moment. I haven't been able to have any luck catching a sunset. It's been 3 times in the last, month and a half that I've gone out for sunset, and every time the clouds look nice, and then just at sunset, either they've gone or the colours just haven't been there. The last time we went to Lake Eden with my mate, it looked really promising. The clouds looked nice, and then right at the end, poof, they disappeared. And then behind us, towards the east, the sky just lit up, but there was just nothing in the east to actually get a composition. So that's Mother Nature for you. It's a hit and miss affair. Now, as you saw, I actually took 3 images for HDR, and I'll actually merge it. I've got underexposed, correctly exposed, overexposed. But for a scene like this, if my exposure is correct, then all I need to do is just take 1 underexposed, because normally I actually use 3 because the sky is so bright and my midground is just right, and then my foreground is dark. So I actually need the 3 of them to blend together to get correctly exposed. But if I'm actually exposing correctly for the sky, then all I need is 1 for the foreground. So while we wait for a bit of this colour, we'll actually do that. So now we'll just take an image, because we've lost a bit of light. I just want to make sure that my exposure is still good. We'll take a photo, look on the histogram. That looks very good. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'll take just 2 shots. So this will say, I want over. And I'm going to want over by 2 stops, because there's quite a bit of light difference here. So we'll take 2 photos, 1, 2. Now that's actually too much, so we'll come back and we'll take just a 1 EV stop. There, that's enough. Because look, I'll show you now. This is with 2 EVs, so 2 stops of light difference. So this is a correctly exposed image. This is 2 stops more light. And you can see now that it's actually way too bright. We've blown out all the water all here. This would be very hard to merge. So this is the next one, correctly exposed. And now with just 1 EV of light. Now the colours here are amazing. If I had my filters here, I could actually balance the sky much better. I could actually put my 3-stop ND grad on here, the medium grad, darken the sky, and I'd actually be able to lift the foreground up here. But sometimes I just like getting back to basics and just shoot without filters. A polarizer, that's about it. We're actually blessed really with modern cameras. The dynamic range of modern cameras is amazing. We're always talking about the new cameras like the D850, Nikon D850 has got such a big dynamic range. But even the Nikon D500 here has got great dynamic range. If I compared my last camera before this, which was the Nikon D7500, to my first Nikon, which was the D70S that I bought, I think it's in 2007, the dynamic range of the D70S was woeful. It was so bad. But we were still happy. We still took photos. We weren't talking about, wow, we've got this big dynamic range. We weren't talking about, oh, our dynamic range is so small, because we came from film. And it was like, wow, I can actually see my photos straight away. I can actually get a correctly exposed image. We were really happy with that. So I'll actually take another photo, and this one I'll actually edit and I'll put it in the video here, and you'll actually see, even without exposure bracketing, I can actually bring out the shadows here in my image. So we'll take a shot. We're losing a bit of light. I just want to make sure that it's not too dark. Yes, getting a bit dark. We'll come down 1/5. I'm shooting on auto white balance. What I'm going to do is change my white balance and I'll warm it up. I'm shooting in RAW, so I can actually adjust this, but I really like shooting what I see is what I get. That's much better. This is what auto white balance was giving me. The sky on the photo here is very blue, but look at the sky on the video. There's actually a lot of warmth here. Now that I've adjusted my white balance, look at that. This is much closer, and my white balance setting is 6,670. So getting close to cloudy. So this is straight out of the camera. Now look at the raw image processed. I'm actually able to bring out all that shadow detail. And this is just in Lightroom. I haven't used any extra plugin. So you can see that even without bracketing, you can actually get quite a nice photo. I just bracket just to make life a bit easier for myself. And it also means I'm actually inducing less digital noise, because if we bring out a lot of the shadows here when it's quite dark, we have a tendency of actually bringing out artifacts, because the image is dark, so we've actually haven't correctly exposed it. And this is why bracketing is very good, because when we bracket, the overexposed image that we're going to blend with our correctly exposed image actually has all that detail in there. When we're just lighting up the image in Lightroom, then we're actually bringing up all that darkness there. And there is a very fine line. If you bring it up too much, if it's too dark, you'll actually notice it quite a lot, because it'll look very grainy. Now look at that. See, looks like, again, it's nearly 10 minutes after sunset now, and it looks like the colours are just going to go away. It's 7 o'clock. I'm not going to get any more light here. We'll take one more photo. So I go 1.6. That's it. That's quite nice. Foreground is very dark. So I'm actually going to bracket this one. I'll actually do a 3 bracket, because I've actually, some of the highlights is a bit blown there, so I'll actually do 3. That's it. That looks really good. Well, it's been a bit of a long day for me. Hope you just enjoyed this video. I just want to show you, like, sometimes when I go out, what I do, and also to show, like, sometimes that you don't have to overcomplicate things. I really didn't need the polarizer on there, but I just used it just to try to even up my image a bit. Well, the colors didn't actually pop. I'm pretty happy. I'm still happy to be out here. And that's what photography is. It's a game of chance. Mother Nature just serves it up on a plate sometimes, and other times she just says, well, not today, folks. Finishing off today, look at that. It's nearly a full moon. Isn't it beautiful? We've got still some quite nice light, because the moon is actually shedding so much light here. What a great way to finish off a video. So this video wasn't so much a tutorial. I just want to show people how I go about, just when I'm out and about by myself, just taking photos. Sometimes I like keeping it simple, like today. So if this video has been helpful to you, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Charles for Charles in Photography. See you next time.